Hi, welcome to Teaching Moments. I'm Hillary. So if you haven't seen my channel, I am a mom of 4 kids with the ages of 11, 13, 15, and 20. So my 20-year-old graduated a couple of years ago. And so obviously I've been through many seasons of homeschooling. I homeschooled my oldest from kindergarten all the way through her senior year, with the exceptions of just a couple of classes that she took at our local high school. So I remember as the kids started growing up, getting older, and I would add another child and then add another child, one of my difficult seasons would always be as I had 3 and 4 kids that I did school with, and coming up with a school schedule to be able to fit that so that I could have good one-on-one time with each child to be able to have them learn, make sure that they're learning well, especially in math or any other subject that was difficult for them. Since my children all have dyslexia, I tend to spend more one-on-one time with them than I think most people do. Sometimes when they get to a certain age, a lot of homeschoolers will be like, hey, here's your homework, go read your assignment, answer the questions, and bring it back to me. And I tried to do that, but that didn't work very well because of the dyslexia challenge. And so I've had to do some accommodations for the kids, which I've learned some accommodations. So that makes it even trickier as they start to get older, because now I don't have anyone in elementary school. It's 2 middle schoolers and a high schooler. And then with the dyslexia challenge on top of that, I just really want to make sure that everybody is comprehending what they need to learn and doing it well. And sometimes I don't even want to have to worry about the reading component of it. And so we will do a lot more oral discussion, and I'll do a lot more teaching on it. So because of that situation, scheduling has always been a tricky thing for me. So I thought I would come on here, since it's about time for kids to start back at school, and talk a little bit about scheduling and how I have accomplished that with 4 kids and that all have learning challenges. How do you get all those subjects in? Okay, so I used to start to legitly have panic attacks before school started, especially as I was adding on the kids. My heart would start to beat fast. I would have a hard time breathing. My chest pains would come. I had questioned whether I should go to the urgent care before or not, and I ended up never going, but I realized and recognized it comes right around the same time every year, which means I was super stressed about getting the kids' schedule. And so I prayed about it, and I believe that I got some answers to help me out. Do I still get stressed? Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I got very stressed this week, and that's what made me think, you know what? I wonder if other people are stressing, and maybe I can give some thoughts to help out. Okay, so one of the ways that I was alleviated, because once I start to get going into the normal school schedule, we're good. We're fine. We can roll with it. It's just a matter of that going from our summer schedule of just relaxation, chilling, to full school. And so I started to stagger them sometimes. Now you can do staggering in 2 different ways. One way is to take one child and be like, okay, I'm going to start this child in a couple of classes, and we're going to do that for like a few days, and then like 3 days later, I'll add one of the siblings on and do them for a few days, and then I'll add another sibling on. You know, you can do it that way. Or you can do it like, say I'm just going to start math class, but I'm going to start it with all of my kids. So all my kids will have math. So that's, for me now, that's 3 different levels of math that you're teaching. And to me, that's me teaching 3 different classes, because even though it's math, they're not on the same level. So then when I eased in that way, it was easier. And then I can add on to it, you know, their reading class or their English class or their history class, and come up with a schedule that way. So staggering them has helped me before. Another way, and one way that I love doing it now, is, so we're kind of more of a year-round school that I do. We don't take a big 3-month break for the summer. I feel like the kids just forget, and I end up having to use my first 2 to 3 weeks reteaching things like math, or, you know, do you guys remember what a noun is? and I don't want to have to reteach everything. So instead I take shorter breaks. We have like a 6 to 8 week summer off. And then I start school again and do 6 weeks to 9 weeks of just like 1 or 2 subjects. And so those subjects I just do hardcore every day, a little bit longer. This year I'm just doing half a day. I picked the afternoon because it's summertime, so it gets really warm in the afternoon, and we don't always like to go outside at that point anyway because it's really hot. And so we do our fun stuff in the morning, and then in the afternoon we sit down and do school, and I will take all 3 of them and they do one class together, and then I stagger between teaching my high schooler his health class and teaching my younger son his science class. And so I do it that way, and then that way with that 6 to 9 weeks that I have in there, I can get one whole subject done, or a very good start on that subject before adding on. And now so we just started right after 4th of July. We started July 5th. We started doing some school, and I tend to do health class that way. Classes that you don't need to have every single day instruction, like math. I don't know that I would do math that way because my kids need everyday instruction for math to be able to remember from day to day. But for like health, something that's a little more simple, or science, maybe that's only going to be a semester. You could start earlier. Sometimes history, depending on what history it is, you can kind of get in some more schoolwork there. And to me, it's been very beneficial. And so that was one way to do it. And then also while I'm doing that, I just now made my school schedule for what full-time will be. So once we're settled into, okay, this is working okay, then I'll start adding on some other subjects. And I'll start going, okay, this is when you're normally going to have reading class. So why don't we do reading class now? And so then slowly we build up to having the full-time schedule. So when you take the summer and you start pounding out a class, then that helps to alleviate that time slot during the normal school year so that you either have some room to breathe or you can put something else in there, which is very helpful. Also, I have learned my maximum for how many classes per day that I can teach. I can teach about 8 classes in one day, and then I'm tapped out. I can't do any more. And it's good to know your maximum because so that when you're doing your full schedule, don't go over your max, because you're the teacher, you're the parent, you need to stay sane too. So know your max and don't go beyond it. Yeah, so that's how I do scheduling with my kids, and it has helped to be able to not be so panicky and just kind of relax and work your way into it. I feel like it helped for the kids too, because they know more of what's expected and they can remember it. They're kind of more in the school mindset and routine rather than just all of a sudden, all new, all of a sudden. It's just been very beneficial. If you like this video, please hit like, please click subscribe, and stay in tuned. Ring the bell for any more notifications of when I do a new video. And thank you so much for watching.